type of question is this?
Inference.
Inference, yeah. So we're looking for something that's supported by the passage, right?
Right.
Which means the correct answer is probably going to have what kind of language?
Soft.
Soft language. Yeah, what were you debating?
I didn't like any of them.
Wait, you didn't like any of them? Okay, so what do we know? Consumers, right, buy gasoline,
Right.
and gasoline hurts the environment,
Right.
and it doesn't currently reflect the cost of that damage. Gasoline is cheaper, right, than it would be if people were to pay for the damage they're actually creating. So
Right.
this economist suggests, or environmentalist says, hey, let's give them higher taxes on gasoline, because that would actually start to incorporate some of the cost of the damage, supposedly, into the cost of gasoline.
Okay.
And what would happen? As a result, consumers would pollute less. If they're polluting less, what must be happening?
They would. The problems are reflected in the gas prices.
Yeah, so heavier taxes on gasoline would reflect this cost, and as a result, consumers would pollute less. So when I hear that, I think they're driving less,
Right.
right? Because gasoline's more expensive now, so they're kind of, they're slowing down how much they're consuming.
But what is B wrong?
So hold on one second. So that's why C is correct. Consumers would purchase less gasoline if the cost of the environmental problems to which the pollution from which driving contributes were fully reflected in the price of gasoline.
See, that was my thing. I initially crossed this one out because it said fully reflected.
No, that's good because
That's
it says
good.
if fully reflected. If we went all the way, higher taxes could partially reflect the environmental damage that you're creating, right?
Right.
But you could say, no, we're gonna fully reflect the damage that you're creating with your car. In other words, every gallon of gas is gonna have a $50 tag on it, right? I don't know what you'd have to charge to actually accommodate for all the damage that everyone is creating. But if it were $50, then yes, people would drive less. The more it reflects the damage you're actually creating to the environment, the higher the taxes.
Sorry, can I just correct the test?
Yeah, no problem. Mm-hmm.
So I circled C and then I double checked myself and I put D,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm regretting. But
Ooh.
is D?
The only cost.
Yeah, it's because of the only, right?
That's too strong. Yeah, the only cost considered by most consumers, no. They might be considered other things. We don't know what they're considering. Kelly, are you okay with C?
Okay, so I think I misunderstood inference because I was thinking, based on the passage itself, what has to be true,
Yeah.
and
No, that's correct. That's absolutely right, based on the passage. But here's the thing.
Yeah, okay,
Answer choice C, good night,
night.
is a conditional statement, right? It's like,
Right.
if we fully reflect this,
okay, that's it.
it's not saying that it will be fully reflected, but if it
Right.
were, yes, people would drive less.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense, but I think I glossed over that if.
Ah.
And then I thought, well, that's not necessarily true. It doesn't have to be true. And then I eliminated on that basis. Why is B wrong?
B is
Yeah.
wrong because of
That's-
awareness. We have
Yeah,
no
no.
idea whether the consumers would be aware of the environmental damage they're creating. They would just be aware that it costs more. Right? Like you could raise taxes and they're like, well, I don't know why the taxes were raised, but I don't want to buy this much gas.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Just
I
because
mean, I didn't like it initially
Awareness.
either, but.
Are they going to be more aware of why the taxes are higher? They could be. They might be like, hey, why were the taxes higher? Oh, it's because the environmental damage, blah, blah, blah. Or they just might be like, oh, the taxes are higher. I don't know why.
But the heavier taxes would not in and of itself increase awareness.
Yeah. You'd have to like ask somebody.
But it says it ends with like the kinds of environmental problems to which pollution from driving contributes. Right?
Yes, sure.
So I was
But are the people who are driving aware of what's going on?
might not be.
They might not be. It doesn't talk about their awareness. So you're shifting from fact to, oh, the person who's causing this is actually aware of what's going on.
Okay. It puts
Yeah.
the stress on the awareness primarily, awareness of the consumers.
Yeah.